There. All right. Let's see. It'll take a little bit. So we
Reckon it's public?
I don't know. Did you? You'll know when in a minute or two nobody shows up there where that person is right
We'll
there.
have to start over.
Yeah, you'll have to start back over.
I don't need to do it.
No, there's the thumbs up, so you're live. There you go. So there's one person right there.
All right.
There you go.
Let me find me a Coke can.
God. Let's see. I got a bunch of stuff on foot.
All right, now we rolling. Now. Fix it here in a minute. Y'all hang tight.
Yeah,
technical difficulty.
Yeah, we gonna get this right here. Let's see.
We got holes.
Yeah, there we go.
Now.
There we go. All right. So if you don't like what's going on Cotontop, you can flip over there on Hollis Farms right quick. Y'all can do y'all can do it on both of them. That dude done got me hot already, man.
It don't take long. Look, if y'all see me looking up, it's because I got to get to my bifocals.
Look,
to
hey,
see y'all.
Listen, funny story. So when we first started doing this, all right, so I would watch you and I would get kind of tickled because you'd be holding the camera and you'd be doing like this.
Yeah, they built in low. You got bifocals now?
No. But I used to get tickled. But man, I feel your pain now. I can't see nothing up close at all no more.
You got reading glasses?
Yeah, I got reading glasses and everything.
See, I got them built way down low.
Right.
Because if I got them up normal, I'd trip over my own feet.
But I never had no problem about 2 years ago. And I think it came from you.
Probably my dogs.
And sniffing that snuff
Probably
all the time.
my dogs.
Your dogs, yeah. But I'm telling you, man, I can't like reading text and stuff like that. I can't see.
My wife gets mad, laughs at me because my text on my phone, I got it supersized.
Yeah, I got mine big too. Well, check this out. So I was sitting in the shooting house tonight. It was raining like crazy. I was cussing because it got harder as it was getting dark, you know. And I discovered dark mode on my phone, where it's not like white.
Yeah.
You know, when it's blaring back at you.
See better now.
Yeah. Oh man, that was awesome. So I got a little shelf in one of my shooting houses where I set the phone up, and I put it on dark mode there. And
I don't know if I've ever found dark mode.
Yeah, it's over there on the settings. It's pretty good. Let's see here. I got 174. You got 106. So
I'm gonna pass you in a minute.
You probably will. I
don't go live very much.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go live. I was thinking about it on the way over here. I did a live deer hunt last year.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go live shooting one for long.
I guess I need to get a race car or something. I've got the facility here. And I mean,
you
drive by going to Brad's place all the time.
I'll bring my 3 over here. That's the craziest thing I ever done.
Well, I'm getting dogs from you.
Yeah.
Now,
might as well bring a car, a truck.
Car, yeah. Just park them over here.
I need to sell a truck anyway.
And let's see here. Let's see. You can see the comments coming through, and you can grab your screen right there.
I can't read them.
You can't read them. I can actually see these okay. It's easier to see them on the laptop here where you can.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring my iPad and it's busy right now.
Yeah, he's uploading the video here. Let's see here. I'm just gonna kind of scroll back up through the comments. So I'm kind of behind. Usually I kind of keep up, but Jason kind of detoured me there for a little bit and about worked me up to a sweat right there, man. Trying to make this thing work right here.
Well, it's hard enough to do something by yourself, and trying to do 2 things at the same time is about too much.
All right, so some of the people that are your comment that watch your stuff, do you know any of them or anything like you?
Every once in a while, I hadn't even been looking to see who it is. I mean, I recognize a lot of the people. Like I'm commenting every day, you know. But as far as personally, a few of them.
Right. You've gotten out, you've met some fans and everything, haven't you?
Yeah, I tell you, the biggest thing that was kind of humbling experience or whatever you want to say, when we went up to that big race in South Carolina.
Cherokee up there?
Cherokee, 5,000 win. The first time they had put on a big street stock race like that. And we unload, you know, and we get there. We practiced Thursday night, and a couple people came by. And I thought, you know, that's pretty cool. And then, man, Friday and Saturday come by. And you know, I sold a few hats and T-shirts, but it was amazing at the people that already had them on.
Right. It was just wearing them.
It was something.
Well,
and, you know, we got up there and and not bragging or nothing, but we hustled and worked that thing and
You won that race,
messed
right?
around, put it on the pole, and then won it. But the neat thing was, we're on the pole and they're doing introductions and all that stuff, and man, the people hanging off the fence with a Hollis Farm shirt or hat on, it just made. I said, we got to win this thing. We can't come in second with this, with all these people, and we done drove ever how many hours it was up there.
Well, you know, I'm gonna put you on the spot. You know, back in the day, back in the '90s, this is before you were racing and everything. Rick and all them were racing. You know, used to run around with Rick all the time.
Right.
Rick let me get in his car one time, his late model, out there. It was like sitting on a hand grenade with the pin pull.
It's different.
Never felt anything like that in my life. Till you sit in that thing and you hit the starter button on it.
Yep.
And it fires up. You know, he told me, he said, just put it in gear. He said, and mash the clutch. He said, just feather the clutch in and it'll start rolling.
Right.
And he said, when you get on the track, then he said, just let off the clutch. And he said, shove it in the next gear. And he said, that's it.
Ready to roll.
He said, it's ready to roll. It's direct drive, locked in. And I remember Dale Inman come by me. And my hair stood up on, because I mean, when he come by me, he was rolling.
Right.
When he come by me, man, my hair stood up on my arms and stuff. I was like, God,
It's different. No. It's different.
It was crazy,
People
man.
tell you they run around flying on a gravel road. It ain't the same.
No. It's and I never raced those cars or anything, but I did. Kevin and I both raced go karts and stuff when we had a go kart track out here. Yeah, and Rick helped me out there a good bit on that, but. So if I ever come to the racetrack with you, you're going to have to let me pack the track with your car.
That's good.
Everything.
We can do that.
Yeah, we can do that.
I'll pack with one, you pack the other one.
That'll be fine.
If we happen to have a wreck, oh well. We'll fix it.
Well, between my shop and all the welding and cutting and stuff and everything, we can fix whatever it is.
I guarantee.
We can weld it together. And
we got a few people watching.
yeah, let's see.
You're
You're at
at
100.
I'm trying to catch you.
116 at 217.
You're a little more used to you going live than me.
Somebody
people's probably in the bed by now.
Somebody asked a while ago, what's the deer limit for here? Of course,
I have that question all the time.
And I don't know either.
I don't look.
Yeah.
Because if you know, you can't tell the game warden.
That's right.
I'll literally tell him I don't know.
Well, you got it's kind of jacked up because we hunt 2 states here. Jason actually lives from my house to his house is 18 miles is all it is, and Jason's brother Brian don't even live but about 6.5 miles from where I live right here, and so like Alabama has that game check thing, and it's like $160 ticket if you move that deer and you hadn't recorded that thing.
They got that now?
Yes. But now Mississippi is a voluntary deal.
Oh yeah, I remember something.
You know, it's voluntary whether you send it in or not or anything like that.
That's a sore subject with me. I don't need to get on that.
We've got so many deer. Jill and I were going out last night, and as soon as we come up the ramp, there was 2 cars sitting there, and I told her when I saw the lights, I said, slow down. I said, I bet one of them has done hit a deer, and I said, it may be laying in the road. Don't run over it. We got up there, the red Toyota Camry had the front end tore off of it. And right before we got to the car, the deer was laying in the ditch over there dead, you know.
It's every day,
and,
it's just a few miles from my house to the next little town up there.
Yeah.
And it's every day it's a new one, a bunch of them. And then you got these limits. You know, when we was growing up, it was $1 a day in Alabama.
Yeah.
Didn't shoot no does.
Right. Well, for years in Alabama, you could kill a buck and a doe every day.
Yeah, true.
I mean, for up till about, and it ain't been that long ago, you could shoot a buck and a doe every day of the season.
And I remember trying to see how many bucks we could kill.
Yeah, I mean.
And you didn't hurt nothing. You still killed a big deer.
There was one time when I hunted with Ronnie and them down there at the berry farm, and we were trying to massacre deer down there. There was 1 week down there, I killed 18 in 1 week.
I don't doubt it.
18 in 1 week.
And didn't hurt nothing.
And didn't hurt anything or whatever. And let's see, looking around, we got a lot, and there's a lot of people. You're almost up to 200 now. There's a lot of people tuning in here. I'm at 268. But a lot of these people on here, man, I kind of know who they are. Like, and I know the names. Like this Christina Kirby, they're from over there south of Birmingham over there. Demetrius Robinson is in it's either Lafayette or Jackson, Alabama. He's the one that won the big prize pack. Byron Glover is from Pavo, Georgia. I actually met him. And Travis Macy, he's from up there in Vermont. That's where he's from. And look, Hollis Farm. That's your brother right there. How many acres you got? I got enough. And Ty Gartshore, he's from Jacksonville. I hadn't met him, but a lot of these people I've actually met and everything. That Terry Sanders or Saunders, he's up there in Maine. I've met him. And,
I hide too much to meet folks, I guess. And I'm this bad, I forget their names.
Right. And then, of course, John, I've got him as a moderator on here. That's John and Rose, the one that the dog's named after.
And the used to have a mule.
So you don't have Rose the mule no more?
I got rid of Rosebud. She was an ass.
Yeah. That Drew Reed, I actually talked to Drew's mama. He's from over there toward Conecuh County, Alabama. I looked it up the other day and
Y'all keep watching on the color scheme. It's coming on the late model.
Yeah, and also, what let's see here. There's Thomas Johnson. He's actually a logger over in Louisiana. He's got a channel, and he has a sprint car. One of those.
I drove one of them. First time I ever drove it, I rolled it about 10 times.
Yeah, I don't want nothing to do with no sprint car. I don't want anything that the drive shaft is running right between your legs, right there.
This was one of the mini sprints.
Oh, he was in a mini. It had a 600 in it. Yeah,
rolled it right off the end.
Screw that.
Was it out?
Who was it? Bo Holman?
No, it was Richard Hubbard's.
Richard Hubbard. Okay.
Yep.
Richard.
Yep.
Richard built me my first go-kart engine.
He could build a motor.
Yeah, he could build a motor. He was good on those things. Let's see. Thomas said, never mind, he can't afford to drive his or whatever. But man, those things, all it is basically a piece of sheet metal between your nuts and the drive shaft, and I mean that's it.
Scary.
And you got to be pushed off. I ain't never understood why they don't put a starter on those things, because you go to a sprint car race
all night.
It's the most agonizing thing you'll ever go to in your life, because all they're doing is pushing cars all night long.
And if they have a wreck, they got to re-push them off.
So, what's your game plan this year? Because I know you got a late model. Are you fixing to dabble in late model stuff again, or 602? What you going to do?
We're going to do crate. I don't know which way yet. I don't know if it'll be the 602 or the 604. Probably, maybe both. Not no super late model, though. They just a little too much. Kind of takes fun out of it.
So are you getting all your engines from the same person? You getting them from Jay, or who you getting
from Jay?
Are you? So we're blessed with some engine builders right here. We got Jay Dickens, and then what's Brown?
Brown. Yeah.
Right, and he's still building engines.
Jay.
I thought he had quit, but he is actually still building engines. You know, he used to build those 350s for Rick and Eddie now.
Yep.
And they'd put about a 7,500 chip in them, and they were just a steel engine.
That's right.
And they did good because they didn't have 800 or 900 horsepower, and so it was like running almost like traction control, because there wasn't enough power to pull.
Right.
So it
the motors can be overrated as far, because half the people running these late models now, you see them restricting them, putting restrictor plates. They got these deals, whatever you call them, that go down in the intake
between the carburetor and the top of the intake.
They all restricted. They built a.
So I mean, what's the point of putting that in a
$40,000 900 horse motor, and then they restrict it for hot laps for 500, 600.
Most of those guys 10 years ago were running traction control, and they just couldn't catch up with them. And I know a lot of them still are, because you can hear it.
Yeah.
Like when they.
I raced against it a bunch. That was the only thing I never did like about the racing. I didn't mind cheating if it was something the tech man could find. But this deal was built in that MSD and all, and you could not find it. And it was very expensive, and it was just something I did. A lot of people liked it, and some people didn't.
2-man cruiser. No, we don't need no 2-man
I
cruiser. or
remember
whatever.
doing that. That was.
I
that
might
was
scream
spooky.
like a girl. This Al Daniels, that Al Tremendous Daniels, he's from over there in Georgia over there. He's pretty cool. I met him down there at Moultrie down there, and somebody, Waylon wants to know. He's from over there around Birmingham over there too.
I see him comment.
Yeah, Waylon actually they drove all the way up there to Cambridge, Ohio, to meet me up there when I went to that logging show up there.
Mm-hmm.
And I told him, I said, dude, you ain't but 2 hours from me
Yeah, I could drove
over here and drive over here
Mm-hmm.
and stuff. Let's see, there's Cody Myers. Yeah, Chandler wants to know if I know Jerry Easton from Fayette. I don't personally know him, but I know who he is. We've hauled wood off of him several different times. Somebody wants
That
to
guy
know.
wants to put you in the bomber class.
Yeah. No.
That's where we all need to be. A lot cheaper.
So have you got some? You're pretty much trying to run big races, right?
Yeah, that's what I want to do. you tie up so much money, and I don't mean to say this wrong, but when I unload, I'd like to unload for some money
Right.
instead of just unloading for $300 or $400 because it costs the same amount to run that $300 or $400 race as it does $5,000 to win. So
What it cost you just to travel to Cherokee up there from here? That was a pretty good little haul from
Yeah.
them, man.
I probably had $400 or $500 in fuel.
Did you?
Yeah,
Mhm.
probably.
Did just
I try
Brad
not
go
to
with
keep,
you?
Yeah, I try not to keep up with it.
Right. Kind of heartbreaking and everything. I was reading that lifestyle thing or that thing about Bill Cole in the paper here a few weeks ago where they restored his eyesight. You know.
Did they really? I
Yeah,
didn't even see that.
where he was blind
Yeah, I
in
knew
one
he
eye,
was.
and
Has
they
been
fixed it.
forever.
Yeah,
Really?
they fixed it. Yeah, so he can see again. But he was talking about that was what a lot of the story was about dirt track racing.
Mm-hmm.
And he said I spent all my inheritance on dirt track racing. And that was back when it was cheap to race
Look.
too, man.
When I was running a street car back then, wide tire, we was over in Kennedy, and I was racing against Bill. Look,
Yeah.
this was going to be the first race I won, and guess who spun me out? Bill. And he told me, he said, I was mad now. I was young.
Yeah.
And Bill was a super guy. He didn't
Oh, yeah.
mean to. He said, I can't see out of that other eye. And I said, it was bad. I like Bill. I've always got along with him. But, yep, I'll never
Yeah.
forget that.
That Royce Abbott, I've met him over in Hot Springs, Arkansas. He came over there and stuff. So have you got some big races lined up?
Not really. I mean, I know there's some that they do every year, like the Street Stock Nationals
Yeah.
down in Meridian,
Right.
and I don't really plan a lot. I just kind of take it week to week. I need to get on a schedule, but right now it's hard for me to even think about it during deer season. But it's been so long since I've got to deer hunt much. I've been enjoying it.
Yeah, because you've been hunting full this year. Because last year, you still had hunters last year,
Yeah,
right?
Yep.
So this
Yep.
was the first year that you've been free
In about 12 years.
in about 12 years.
Yep. So.
Those deer are like, I relate them to having either chicken houses or catfish farm or daggum restaurant.
Like a dairy.
It's something you can't never get away from.
Man, you couldn't. If you did,
Yeah.
you'd lose it all. It was crazy.
Let's see. This Joseph Blackburn wants to know if you ever raced with the Mississippi All-Stars.
No, never run the late model stuff.
Mm-hmm. The late model stuff is just a different animal. Jason and I have a good family. They're another family, racing family that are right here, the Rickmans, and they've raced for forever. Eddie's raced since back in the 60s, 68. And then,
Yeah.
and then Jason and I grew up with Brian and Rick, the two brothers. Rick is the oldest. And I guess that's what kind of got you started.
I tell you who got me started was Ed Atkins.
Ed, oh yeah.
I went with Ed, and Dale's nephew was helped me. We run around, and that's what got
That's
me
right.
started.
Yeah, he had a late model. I forgot about that.
That's what, when
Oh,
Ed
big
got
Ed.
back in that last time, that's what got me started.
What was that?
Yeah.
Ed was Ed would remind me of Big John.
Yeah.
Because he's a big guy.
Big guy.
Big guy.
Yeah.
Not fat.
No.
I mean, strong, just
Strong.
freaking.
Didn't want to shake his hand. Strong.
Yeah, he was tough, man. He was tough.
Yep.
Let's see here. Yeah,
Raced a sprint car one time and flipped it.
yeah. Brad wants to know if Jason using tobacco products. Yes, he is.
Who is that?
Brad Muth. He's from
Yeah,
up
I
there.
know I need to quit, but I hadn't done it yet.
Yeah, I told this story that time we were going down there to pick Dodge and Tater up, but man, Jason was saying forever that he was gonna quit, and man, it was about. I tried to chew tobacco and tried to dip a bunch of different times, and the last time was about 2000 or 2001. I got me some Copenhagen, son. I was like, I'm gonna do this, you know. And I was laying in there. We wasn't living at this house we're at right now, and I was laying on the bathroom floor with my face against the cold tile by the toilet right there. And I prayed to God. I said, God, I said, I tell you what. I said, either kill me or if you'll make me feel better, I promise I'll never put that junk in my mouth ever again. He didn't kill me, and I ain't never put that stuff in my mouth ever again.
I wish it would have made me sick.
Man, I'm telling you, I was green as board guts, man. I mean, I was.
It's hard. Anybody out there that does it know it's hard. You gotta want to, and I just ain't wanted to. I mean, I don't know how you could sit in a deer stand without it.
Lord have mercy.
So I don't know. It's just
Oh,
it's
man.
bad. I know I need. See, I made a deal with my wife when Cody was born, or when she found out Cody was a boy. When he was born, I was supposed to quit. He's 10 now, so
Ain't
I hadn't held my end up too good. Oh, man, it's hard.
Let's see. Somebody says he wants us to do some hog hunts. Jason's got them traps now, man. We sit here in the warm shop till the trap goes off,
Yeah.
and then go get them.
I like it. I tell you, it got so aggravating fooling with these landowners.
Byron says rehab is for quitters.
He made
I tell you what, I even tried some of the pouches, you know,
Yeah.
and they still made me sick, man. I mean, it just, like caffeine, nicotine, tobacco, it all, man, messes me up.
That may be the same guy that commented the other day. He said, you don't want anybody to think you're a quitter.
Let's see. Junior Rains, I've met him.
Yeah, he
And
comments
his
every
wife,
day.
yeah, Junior and his
No,
wife.
I'm too young to have raced with John L. But I remember watching him a bunch. I was racing when John L. raced. I just didn't run late model. I run them oatmeals forever. I never had
Yeah.
an interest in the late
I
model.
remember when he got killed, man,
Yeah.
and everything. I
John L. was
remember
a
that
mess now.
and stuff. Let's see. Let's see.
I'm gonna catch you. No, I ain't.
Where are we at
I'm
now?
on 240.
I'm at 337. You coming on?
Yeah, come on, kid. Come on, y'all. Watch this thing. My group goes to bed early like I do.
Y'all,
We start
everybody,
watching at
I
6
tell y'all
o'clock
what,
in the morning.
everybody on there, y'all thumbs up on me. Jump over on Jason and hit the thumbs up on him too, if you would, over on Hollis Farms. And, you know, oh, look,
That guy wants to know how many acres I'm managing. It's several acres.
it's a few. There's a little funny, man. So Brian's selling all of his clothes right now on Facebook.
I've heard.
You know, he's done dropped, you know, a bunch of weight
I
and
gotta figure out
everything.
what he's doing.
I know, right? I mean, I'm about to get what'd you call it last year? The Dicky Doo or what is it? You know,
Yeah, the Dicky Doo disease.
Jason, Brian is taking it off, me and you putting it on. So he's trying to sell all that stuff. So I commented last night. I said, you need to hang on to them. Jason's gonna need them for much.
I ain't going that far. I can't do it, but I do need some help. God,
Yeah.
it's tough. I like to eat, man.
Look, your numbers jumped right there, right quick when everybody come over there. and
I
everything.
like to eat.
Yeah. And,
Golly, it's so good.
well, you got to have left side weight on the race car too, and so
But
if
there
you
is
can,
a maximum.
so if you have it all installed, you can move around the seat a little bit.
Golly,
And,
I'd rather lose some weight and put a piece of lead over.
I understand. Let's see.
You know, I started losing weight this time last year exactly. Lost 30 pounds, and I got on the scales last night, and I'm right back I was. That was just a waste. I just
Well,
should have kept eating.
2017, when we started running around, you had dropped. You were about to finish up dropping weight, And in that summer, I rode my bicycle all summer that summer. And I dropped back. I was right there in the high 150s.
I've been riding mine too, but it's battery powered.
It's battery powered. And I'm gonna tell you, when it's hot, if you wanna do that, you start pedaling. Just do it on flat ground.
Yeah.
And boy, it'll come off.
It'll
come off quick.
Where you out?
And stuff like that. Let's see. Todd asked about the weather.
He was.
It's been raining here since yesterday, Saturday, about 1 o'clock. And it has not quit.
It ain't quit.
It ain't quit. I walked across my yard tonight to take the garbage down, and I thought I was going to sink up to my family jewels.
You can't go around without no knee boots on. Lacrosse can make a killing. Lacrosse and muck boots, you've got to have them down here.
You better not pull off a road anywhere either. Your butt's going to be stuck. I mean, it's somebody says I weigh 355 and I feel anorexic. I tell you what, I've got some big boy fans. I had like 10 5X shirts this year, and I sold all of them but
Really?
2 this Christmas season, and I sold nearly every 4X I had
Really?
too. I mean, a daggone 5X shirt, me and you both could get in a 5X.
That's
now.
a big man.
That's a big dude. A 3X
I
is
wouldn't
a
want to
big
grab
dude.
him.
That's right. If you can just run, you'll be all right. But I don't know that me and you can run anymore.
No, not far. Here at the door maybe, and I'd stop and be blowing. I was pretty good shape here before hunting season messes me up.
Oh, there's old Wes, one lonely farmer. He showed up right there and everything. And so Jason and I have
He's
been.
a nut, ain't he?
Yeah, I like old Wes.
That guy just commented any 6X shirts.
I have actually special ordered a 6X shirt and can get them. And I got one for a guy, his name was Bobby. He was up in Oklahoma.
Sausage ball.
And he died. He died before I got it to him.
Really?
So I took that thing to a show with me, and I had a fella come up, and that's what he wanted. He said, "You got any 6X shirts?" He was a big guy. Had on overalls and everything, and I said, "Yes, sir, I've got one." He said, "I'll take it."
Really?
So Jill, I mean, it was like, it's a huge shirt, and everything, and did that. Let's see.
Paul Bunyan Festival.
That's right, Paul Bunyan.
Dogs is doing good.
Yeah, they doing good.
Pete's gonna have to start his own channel.
Yeah.
Well, that's one thing. When I was in South Carolina, did nobody want to see me hardly, but everybody wanted to see Pete.
Yeah, people are crazy about them dogs
I
now.
am too. I like my dogs. They better
Them
than
dogs
people.
are a lot of fun to mess with and everything like that. But
Position.
So-
I played second base mostly in baseball.
and you were a stud in baseball,
We
man.
did
You could have
okay.
went on, but you got down there at school, man. You just
Well,
petered out on us, man.
I didn't get along with the coach real well, and I think it was just time to go to work. That's all I ever wanted to do.
Yeah.
And it was just time to go to work.
Hey, you finally get to that point. I was like that when I was in about the 10th grade in school.
Yeah,
You
the
know, you
only
start
reason
thinking
I
about money.
graduated was because of baseball.
Yeah.
I'd have been in the penitentiary and at 9th grade if it wasn't been for hunting and baseball. And, a lot of people talk about hunting and sports and stuff, but it kept me out of jail most of the time.
We had, we rolled in 2017. We rolled. Jason and I did, and all the videos we shot together and everything. And then we filmed a little bit in the beginning of 2018, and you started back racing and everything, and that kind of we were.
Hey, it just gets so easy, man. With
Yeah,
the
well, you had the
hunters
deer,
and
you had the deer,
everything.
and all that stuff was rolling down there too, still at that time and everything. And but Jason and I have been talking a good bit here about the last 2 months.
That guy just asked what I do for a living. YouTube.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I'm broke.
That's right. And so see that it pushed enough of them over there. You just about up there to catch me now.
Yeah.
It wouldn't take much, but so we started. I guess about a couple of months ago we started talking about trying to get back together and do some more filming and things like that. So y'all will probably see some films here coming up between now and probably after the first year, I would imagine. And then y'all will start seeing more of me and Jason together, because it'll benefit he and I both, and everything to film together. Because it's crazy. It doesn't. When people come up, I ask when I'm at the shows. I ask about 3 general questions. I ask, "How did you find me?" or whatever like that, and where they're from and stuff like that. And Hollis Farms always comes up. And then I have people all the time ask me, do I know Hollis Farms?
Yeah. It's interesting. It's you stay so busy, man. Kids, and a lot of people ask me all the time, why don't I do my channel like somebody else and have a family and all. I mean, I'm not with mine that much, and when I am with them, I don't want to fool no camera. Just about like you done it and worked all day. We do some stuff together when I can, time to time, but it's just different. You busy. It's just ball games. It's hard. I don't know how I make a video every day.
Well, how much junk you got to clean up down there on the farm as far as like piling and stuff, like where the breeding pens are? You got
mostly just burning.
Just burning.
Mostly just burning. Everything's pretty much pushed up. I got to do a little pushing.
Well, I'm sure there's probably some stuff we can because we did when that one summer we put up 2 or 3 shooting houses. And moved them around.
We could find some work for that little mini out there.
I'm sure, and do some videos on them, because those videos generate a good bit of revenue. This Steve Richardson, he says, I've been meaning to ask you fellows exactly what is the breeds of them dogs. I love them. Almost remind me of Jack Russell, and but they're the little dogs that like the Tater and Dodge and Sadie. They're Jag terriers. Jagd is how you say it. They're a German dog, and if you get a true blue one, like what Jason and I have, they're made to hunt. I mean, they're made to hunt and track, and that's it.
Yeah, I went through back kind of before we was running around years ago. Well, when I first started hog hunting, my first one I was blood tracking with him, and they were what I call American Jags. And they're like every other dog in the United States. They watered down. This stuff we got, you can't pronounce the names on their pedigree. They straight from Germany.
Yeah, the dogs.
They good stuff.
Yeah. And what we did, we had a friend of ours. I actually tracked 2 deer one night for a mutual friend of ours. And I got down there. I had been hunting. It was cold. We had some ice and some snow, and I got a call. I was getting home. And I got a call, and I thought, man, I don't want to go down there and do that, because it's back down there by your house.
Yeah.
And so I manned up, and I went down there. And, of course, there was 4 of us down there. It was me and him, and then there were 2 others. And, of course, they'd done been in the sauce pretty good when we got down there, and they'd done been looking. And we looked in the wrong spot for an hour and a half trying to put the dog in the wrong spot. And then Tater finally picked up on it and was gone.
Went on his own.
And as soon as I saw him, the way he acted and was gone, I yelled at him. I said, he's on the deer right now. And in a little bit, I seen some blood. And so and I tracked a second one like that for him that very night. And right after that, he went down there and bought Sadie. And so Jason ended up with Sadie. I knew he had Sadie. And so a couple of weeks ago, about 3 weeks ago or so, I asked Jason. I sent him a text, and I said I'd like to have Sadie to see you're way over 300.
Yeah, that guy just said we was too busy talking to each other. He was out.
Right, and so we got ended up getting Sadie, and I got her over here and stuff. Let's see. Brian's still watching over at Peckerwood. He can go on. I mean, people can say some of the they get on here, man. It just.
I don't have any racing T-shirts, just the Hollis Farm shirts. May have that in the works though in the future.
Yeah, you're all right there, Kevin. He just showed up right there. He's a logger from over there in the Virginias over there.
Yeah, Tim's gonna get him a race car.
Oh man, Lord have mercy.
Yeah, the dog stuff's gonna be fun. You know, the one reason that our buddy got Sadie was because Tater and Dodge are brothers, full brothers, but we can breed Sadie
Mm-hmm.
to both of them. So there's gonna be some future pups in the future for
Yeah,
sure.
they're gonna get bred. Probably gonna breed Sadie to Jason's dog Dodge first, and get some puppies off of there, and then we'll breed her to Tater the next go around. But she's a sweet, sweet dog,
She's
man.
pretty sharp. And the thing about it, on a hog, and that's what I like about all my dogs, even my black mouth. My wife can't believe it. She's like,
Somebody want to know if Pete had T-shirts.
we're working on that. I'm gonna have to get him a picture and put him on the car, but yeah, these even the black mouse and Dodge and Tater, you know, they just sit up in the truck with you if you want them to. But when it's
Yeah.
time to do business, they do business, and that's what I like about them.
The
And
thing,
I'm gonna be having some black mouth puppies for long because a lot of people like
Yeah.
that.
those black mouse, they're like pit bulls on steroids. People talk about pit bulls, man. The black mouse are like at a different level than what a pit bull is, in my opinion. I mean, those things are great. Napa Brent says crew chief Pete.
How many dogs I got? I probably still got 20 or 25.
Yeah,
About 20 too many.
That's
But the
more than
reason I've kept so many so long is because I like my breeding program. You really can't go buy what we've got anymore. The old Rebel dog, I've got semen saved on him at Mississippi State because you've seen what Rebel can do or
Yeah.
used to could do, but you just can't buy that stuff no more. So I had learned from the deer breeding process and carried it on over to the dogs, and it works.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I've got so many. A lot of them I've just started and never even hunted.
What about Katie Lee? You still got her?
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you that too. That's gonna be another cross to make on Dodge and Tater because
so
it'll be a quarter. Let me think. She's half and half, so it'll be a quarter Patterdale, 3/4 Jag.
Yeah, because she's mainly a Patterdale.
She's half and half.
half and half.
No, she's 3/4 Patterdale, quarter Jag. So it would end up being less powder. We'd have to do the math one day, but it'd be a dash of Patterdale and Jag. She's bad news too. I believe she'd be a bad tracking dog because she can track. I know she can track a hog. She can track a deer.
Yeah, they fun to watch when you turn them loose, and that's the thing I was gonna say about Tater. I keep him off a lead all the time, but when I'm gonna use him, I put that harness on him. And I put the lead on him. When I put the harness on him, he knows.
Yep, time to go to work.
He knows this. He knows it's all business now. And
But it's so crazy when you can just drop them down and sit there, and when they go treat, you just go.
it's
I mean,
it's
they save
simple.
hours.
Well, the nose on them is just nuts. I mean, they take so
Crazy.
much out of it. You know. I mean,
Crazy.
it just they do it, and you ain't got to do anything. All right, you passed me now, so you get to go.
Did I pass you?
Oh yeah,
Oh,
you
good.
passed me.
Good.
And
I use the Garmin Alpha tracking collars.
that's
They
what
got
I
the
use,
shocking
too.
and the tracking on them,
Yeah.
which, I mean, you raise dogs right. It's very seldom. I've never had to shock one of my black mouths. Never shocked the Jags. I'd say they'd be more used on a hound, even though that electricity is very useful if you need it. But
Yep. Thomas Johnson wants to know we run rabbit dogs over here. There are a lot of rabbit hunters over here that run dogs. I don't have any rabbit dogs. Jason don't either.
I hadn't done that in years. That's a lot of fun. It's just hard to keep a pack of rabbit dogs. You know, they've extended the season now, so that got into the, Alabama goes to what, the second week of February
Yeah,
now?
the
So
fifth-
that
yeah,
really
the
cut
14th or
2
15th.
weekends of rabbit hunters out,
That's
and the
right.
hog hunters too.
That's right. And let's see here.
Yes, I've trained squirrel dogs, but I have dog hunted with deer, but not very often. Yes, the hog meat, I just carried one of my videos y'all can see here a while back. I think it was the new record catch. I caught 9, carried all 9 of them, got them processed. I eat it every day. I love it.
Where are you taking them to?
Aaron?
So he's cutting them up there.
Yeah, it's unreal, Tim. I need to I should have brought you some. I eat it every day.
Do you?
The summer sausage, you just cut it off and eat it. It's unreal.
So he's set up to where he can do deer or
Yes,
he got it split and
It
everything.
is good. I'm talking about good. I got freezers full of it.
Mm.
It's better than deer meat. I'm telling you.
Let's see here. Looking through the comments here and stuff. But yeah, y'all see some more videos this coming year of me and Jason doing different stuff and everything.
My comments leave so quick, y'all.
Yeah.
I don't do
Well,
pay
you can-
hog hunts,
yeah,
but
you can pull them back down if you have to, like that right there. If you need to see
you
something,
should have
you
showed
can-
me that.
or you
See,
can
now they know I
oh.
can't skip them.
right. Well, you can't keep up with them when you when they're really rolling and everything.
Shoot, it's been
You
years
have
since
to-
I dog hunted.
Yeah. Let's see.
Favorite caliber rifle. I shoot a 270 most of the time. I got a 243 and a 308, but most of the time I got a 270 I got when I was 14. I'm 45, and I still what I go to.
You is it a bolt action or
Mhm.
automatic?
Browning bolt
bolt.
action.
Yeah.
I love it.
I've got an old 270 Browning bar. It's an automatic that I got. I actually saved up my money when I was a kid to buy that gun.
Mm-hmm.
And matter of fact, I was talking to John coming home from West Point tonight, and I worked out there to clean up crew on the weekends and stuff at their General Tire where Daddy worked. Minimum wage then was $3.35 an hour.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember I worked like 70 something hours that one week and ended up with like $300 something. And I went to Gibson's and bought a Leopold to go on it.
Yep.
And put on there. We call them Leopolds.
I still
We
do.
still
I
do.
can't say loophole.
Loophole.
That's what they say on TV.
Yep, loophole. And Travis wants to know about my favorite gun. I had a 25-06. I bought a brand new Remington 700 BDL 25-06 and basically had it all stripped completely apart and redone, different trigger, glass bedded, had all that thick, clear, real nice looking varnish, had all of it taken off and put in a linseed oil finish and had the stock cut to fit me and all that. And that was my favorite gun forever, but I've actually got that gun. Jarrett's, they have it right now, and they're gonna rebarrel that thing. They're taking it from a 25-06 Remington, and we're turning it into a 257 Weatherby Magnum. That's
That'll
what
be
it's
bad.
gonna be. And the barrel on the muzzle brake on the end of it will be threaded where I can unscrew it and put one of my suppressors on it and shoot it with a suppressor.
Yeah.
And everything. And so we're gonna change the. They're gonna when they do the Jarrett on the barrel, on one side of it where it says Jarrett Rifles and it'll say 257 Weatherby Magnum on it. On the other side of it, it's gonna say Cotontop3 on the barrel. And I got my bolt. They're fluting the bolt, and then they're fluting the actual bolt part, and then the handle they're skeletonizing it. They sent that off to get that done.
That'd be fancy.
Yeah, and putting tally rings and bases on it too. We're gonna change them out also. And so right now I'm currently hunting with a 308. That's what I'm hunting. What I'm mainly shooting right now is a
We're
308
still eating
Winchester.
sausage and biscuits.
Yeah.
One guy told me I need to quit stopping by the bakery. You know, I don't hardly go. I went by the other day. It's the first time I've been forever.
Really?
I try to dodge it. It's tough because you can't just get one when you go.
Yeah, those things, cheese biscuits, cheese and sausage biscuits, man, are
Oh, they're good.
those things are
Deadly.
yeah.
Deadly.
It wouldn't do for me to live over there close by that, man. I'd be wearing that thing. Yeah,
That guy said he had one of my hats, one of yours. Wasn't sure. Put both of them on.
that's
tonight.
right.
Put both of them on.
Yeah, that's right. It's funny. I've actually been scrolling around on Instagram, you know, in the search thing,
Mm-hmm.
and see a picture pop up. Somebody has something of mine on.
Really?
Yeah.
I had never seen that.
Yeah,
That's pretty cool.
I've done that, and I had. There's a lot of that merchandise out there now, because just in the month of December, in the first 19 days, I had 120 26 orders that went out.
That's a lot of orders.
That's a lot of orders, and a lot of them were 2, 3, and 4 shirts and some caps, and some of them. So there's no telling how many items.
I love turkey hunting.
Individual items,
That's
yeah.
a whole new story. We got a lot of videos on turkey hunting. I'd rather do that and eat, and a little better than other things too. But we won't talk about that.
The turkey, I used to hunt like he did on the turkeys every day. I'd kill more than my limit in Mississippi and Alabama both every year.
Right.
I mean, and just got to where just could annihilate them, you know.
Yep.
In the last few years, I hadn't been nowhere near as much as what I did. Your brother over there jockeying. Yeah, if y'all on my end, if you're not subscribed to Hollis Farms, just go over and subscribe to him. Jason and we're a lot alike and everything. And like Brian says right there on Instagram too, you can find them on there. We're both very active on Instagram. Put a lot of stuff up on there.
We probably about 2.5 hours Tennessee maybe.
Yeah,
Straight up through Tupelo.
Yeah. But a little over 2 hours. Yeah, it ain't bad up there to get up there, hit the line up there. That Jim Bandy right there, I met him. He's from Lafayette, Alabama. He's the one that made me that wooden skidder.
Oh yeah.
Brought it in there moultering, and he sent me that wooden excavator the other day.
I don't see how somebody does that. I'd been broke in half.
He's talented on that stuff.
I used to race at Thunder Hill all the time. I hadn't been up there since I started back, but used to race up there a lot.
Cody wants to know, do I get paid by TDK logging, or do I work out of the kindness of my heart? No, I get paid. And stuff. I get paid. And let's see here.
Probably not gonna get the deer farm back going for a long time if I can help it.
Boy, there's a lot of stuff that's real on the verge of changing on deer farming too, with the CWD and everything.
It's crazy, man.
It was funny. I figured it was fixing to come slap across, and I'm not so sure that we don't have some deer over here and just they hadn't been come across yet.
I think it's been here for years. I talked about this in one of my videos, and I hate to say it, but man, these colleges and stuff, and I'm not going down none of them, but I'm going to tell y'all what I think. It's all about money. If they run out of something to study or something, it's all about getting grant money. They're going to come up with something. This stuff's been around here for years.
Yeah.
The places up north where it hit, and they kill all them deer, they never find another case. Same thing in down South Mississippi. And you know, the bad thing that's going on down in South Mississippi it is a federal offense to feed now. So that knocks out all the hog trapping. Mm-hmm. So nobody can hog trap down there now. It's ridiculous. Mm-hmm. I don't know how these people get in there. They ain't got much sense, I don't think. But mother, you can't play with Mother Nature. She's gonna take her course.
Yep. 2 years ago, way before the season started, I was over there, I guess in August, bush hogging on one of our places, and I found a dead deer. You know, the carcass there was the coyotes hadn't ate her all the way up and everything like that. And it was actually a buck, because it was in velvet. And then after the season was over with, then my dad found one dead on the creek. It was in about late February or so, and it was a doe down there. He was walking, looking at some stuff, and found one. And those deer don't just die by accident,
not normally,
or anything and stuff like that. And
things are gonna happen. I mean, just like we was talking about a while ago, you still run over them, see them on the highway every day.
Yeah,
I don't think anything's gonna come through and wipe them out.
No, and see, Brian wants to know we live in the same town. Yeah, basically we do. Jason's right across the line in Alabama, but I live right on the line, and then Brian lives just down the road from me here. Brian says about his bedtime. No, Brian, you can't go to bed there. So you gonna hunt this week, or what you gonna do?
Yeah, every day. I haven't missed a day yet.
You hadn't missed a day yet?
Not much. Not.
Did you go this morning?
Yeah.
You did?
Stayed till 11 o'clock.
Did you go to Mississippi
Yeah.
or did you?
Yeah, I go there about every day. You know, I hadn't, since being in the deer business, about the only time I spent over there was turkey season. And I have spent a lot of time over there, and all the people watching seen a lot of the logging videos on there. And it's
I watched a lot of them. I didn't comment on them, but I saw a lot of the comments on them. I was like, oh no.
we're doing something different over there. I don't think anybody's hardly ever done, and everybody watching is gonna get to see it. It's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be a long process, but it's gonna get good. It's gonna get good.
Where you hunt? Yellow Creek this morning?
Yeah, if I can find a logger that'll work for me.
I told Jason when he started, I said, I'll never cut a tree down for you, man. I said, I'll never cut a tree down for you,
I'm
dude.
kind of picky. It's gonna work out.
Take it, Brian.
It's gonna work out. Yeah, you need to get a quiet cat. Those quiet cat bites, they're not good exercise, but they sure get you too. Man, I ride them right to the stand and lay it down.
I seen that. You know, one thing in my bite, you see that camouflage mountain bite right there? That's what I turkey hunted off of for a long time.
You gotta pedal that one though.
Yeah, you got to pedal that one. That was before electric bikes,
That
but
was
man,
when
let
you
me
was in
tell you,
Bad.
you could be riding down the gravel road and ride right up on a Longbeard, blowed up. I'm talking about just crashed the bike into the ditch.
And
He never knew you were there,
They
man.
bad.
I'm telling you, man, you could
And I
ride
like
up on.
to deal with the deer because you don't leave no scent.
Yeah,
No scent
That's
on
right.
you or nothing.
I don't smell bad anyhow, man.
I do to them.
And let's see here, but
Oh man.
good stuff. I was going to ask you something else, but I can't remember what it was now. What about your dad? Is
He done good.
he able to get to hunt,
Oh yeah.
or is he
When he
still on
wants to.
is he on the road still?
Whatever he wants to do. If he decides he's gonna go hunting, he's gonna go hunting. He'll be back done about Christmas when everybody go back to work. And the rut's just starting, and he wants to go back to work. That's
He'll be
what-
down there planting trees or something.
Yeah, he'll be firing the John Deere up before January 1st.
Yeah. This guy here ask a question. You can
I always
answer.
run the number 5.
He says, "What's the difference between the 602 and the 604 engine?"
The 604's got aluminum heads. It's got a roller type hydraulic camshaft in it. Makes just a little more horsepower. I can't remember the exact numbers. They're so low, it's pitiful. But the 604 is a little peppier than the 602 aluminum headed. They're both about bulletproof. If you don't turn them, twist them too much, and you about can't overturn them because it'll float the valves. But I've went to the open motor in the street stock, and I like it better right now.
Brian Strickland wants to know, why don't I shoot some hunting videos? I get asked that a good bit, people wanting hunting videos, and here's kind of the reason why you don't see as much from me on that end of it as you do like Jason. We own a good bit of land. We don't own as much as what Jason and them fool with and everything, but ours is more, it's not, in large blocks or anything like that. So the problem that I have with the hunting videos is, if I post something hunting wise and I show deer, basically what I'm doing is I'm scouting for the people around me.
Huh.
And so they can watch and they can see what I'm doing and see what the deer are, if I've got feeders or don't have feeders or anything like that. So I kind of try to keep that on the down low a little bit, because there's a lot of people around here that watch my stuff that I don't know who they are or anything like that. There are some that I do know who they are, and I have to be kind of careful about the information that I share, so that I basically don't do the scouting for them, and
I
stuff
kind
like
of
that.
watch that too, but I guess
Yeah, you're in a little bit different
I have to-
situation than
I
what,
think about that sometime, but I don't. Most of them don't never know where I'm at.
and so that's the reason why I do some of the stuff the way that I do it. And well, Cody wants to know, we went to school together. I mean, we went to New Hope, our school here. Because how old are you?
45.
45. I'm 47, 2 years older, and then I guess Brian's 2 years older than
He's
I
right
am.
at 56. 7 or 8.
No,
he's
he ain't that
50.
old.
He's 50.
But I was in between them in school, and we grew up. We went to the same church together and everything.
Fellow from Canada. It's cold up there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. And let's see.
I need to go to Canada. You ever been to Canada?
Yeah, I've been to Canada several times. I spent several days up there in May this year. Brian says he's 50 going on 25.
That's a lie.
Brian, you need to start stripping. That's what you need to. You done got to looking so good. You ain't no telling how much money you could make pole
Probably
dancing
more
there.
money at the pony than you
Yeah,
do.
yeah. He needs to go down there on men's night and dance at the ponies. What he needs to do, and that son gun could rake it in, man, and all. And that gun Renata could be his. I mean, could pimp him out and everything.
We very seldom have trespassing problems that we know of. I think one thing that helps is we spend so much time on it.
Mm-hmm.
Turkey hunting's going to be your biggest poaching. Turkey
Correct.
hunters seem to not know where a boundary line is. But
You know, it's tough now though because, man, the cameras now not just a trail camera, but the daggum coverts.
everything.
And I've got a matter of fact that battery that your phone is propped up against right there. That's what it's for, is powering the covert right there.
Bad.
And they're bad. I've got a matter of fact. I bought another one the
Did
other
you?
night off of eBay. Mm-hmm.
That's a bad
You
camera.
can, yeah, you can. I've got a bunch of them now.
Do you?
Yeah, I've got
Okay.
a bunch of them.
I didn't know that.
Matter of fact, I had
I go poaching now. I was thinking about going over there.
Yep. I've actually got, I've had a little trouble on a place this year, and I've actually got one that's in a tree. I actually put my pole climbing spikes on
Mm-hmm.
and climb the tree, and I've got a mount that'll screw into the tree, and you can angle it any way, and everything.
You're going to get it.
And so I've got an angle down to where, but I don't think what they did, I don't think they'll be back. I think they were just letting me know that they were there and everything and went on. I actually made a video about it, but I said, no, I ain't gonna post it out because I was pretty pissed when I
Right.
seen what happened, know.
Right.
But Jason's right. Turkey hunting is where you're gonna have the most problem. But I'm telling you, if you step off on property now with these covert cameras and stuff like that, like
I'm sitting on my own property.
yeah,
And you know that cramp hits you sometimes and you got to go in the woods. I'm on my own property and wonder who's watching.
right.
Or what camera's
Oh yeah,
going.
oh yeah. Because I mean, I've got enough of those coverts. If I want to monitor what's going on behind me on the way in the morning or the way in the afternoon, I can put it in my backpack and I can strap that thing to a tree and turn it on,
Yeah.
and I can monitor the road while I'm sitting there hunting. And the other thing too, the coverts, if you want to watch a field or something, you can just send a command to it from your phone and tell it to take a picture, and you can see the entire field from the
I
the
tell
camera.
you, that covert's bad. The technology in this hog trap.
Yeah, it's a different animal though.
Unreal.
Yeah, because it's got the hog eye or whatever it is.
Yes,
ain't it?
it's bad. You can stream it live. You know, we can do it right now. That's notification right there's going off. That motion.
Yeah,
It's unreal. That
That's
thing
pretty
is
cool.
bad. But it's way more than a covert. But you couldn't have a bunch of them strapped to trees.
yeah. Brian said he'll be at the Pony next week. Pony's our local strip club, our gentleman's club there, and no, I have never stepped foot inside of it.
We got more turkeys probably in Mississippi than we do Alabama. We used to have a bunch in Alabama, but not quite as many as it used to be. My favorite place to hunt's in Alabama, though, in that hardwood.
There's old Zach Oswald right there watching from a few miles away. Yeah, you know who that is and everything, old Zach. And stuff. See, Jason Joseph wants to know about booking hunts. They don't sell no hunts no more and everything. They don't do any of that no more. They kind of got out of
Taking a break.
that. Yeah. And stuff. So
Yeah, the hog trap. I think reason the hog
Something's-
trapping has slowed down is because I think a lot of people's pouring the feed to them, but they'll slack
Yeah.
up on that and they'll be back through.
yeah, it's funny the hogs have done.
They move.
Yeah, it don't take much to push them completely off of property, and it'll take them a little while before they come back, but they'll be back.
When we was running dogs, if I had cameras on our place and I'd run we didn't have a pile like me and you'd go hunting bowler-gee.
Mm-hmm.
You'd really take exactly 2 weeks for them to start filtering back through after you run them one time with dogs.
Could you imagine what it'd be like if you got Charles and JJ and we went down there to Bowler G now? Because that's been, what, 2 years ago now, what the hogs are like down there?
Yeah.
I bet
They
you
won't
could
let nobody in.
I bet you could catch them like that down there running, man.
Our main place we used to hunt down there, they sold it, and the guy, I talked to him, he wouldn't let me in, and the other guy said I was messing their duck hunting up, and I said, that's it, I'm done. So.
The traps are the way to go, though, on everything, whether it's the hogs or it's coyotes or it's raccoons. I was getting pictures tonight. I had like 6 deer in one spot I got 2 feeders within about 30 feet of each other. And I got them both putting out 12 seconds of corn in the morning and in the evening and everything. And there was like 6 deer right there on the feeders grazing. And about that time I get a picture and you can see legs running. Coon showed up, man. Coon
I had some
showed
video
up,
years ago in a trough. We used to have
coons are bad.
We used to have I still got it down there. It was a box about this big, about as big as the old Yeti over there, and it had a VCR in it. This was the first video camera for deer you ever saw. And I can remember we had troughs. It's years ago, and I can remember having videos of a coon swatting at an 8-point, making him leave.
Making him leave.
They bad.
They run them deer off, and I have
you can work on them though.
I have massacred the coons this year. I ain't gonna lie. I've wiped them out, man. Matter of fact, I got a feeder over there that the deer are not even coming to, and there's corn up under it about that deep, dude. No lie. And there's no coons to eat it up. I've done wiped them out.
That's
know. And but the deer just ain't coming. The hogs, and it's at West Point. The hogs ain't even coming in there on it right now.
Where they went? Somebody's
I don't know.
To them somewhere.
Well, the farmer over beside me shot one.
I don't do any pay hunts anymore. So.
And then I shot one the Friday after Thanksgiving. I shot one, and I hadn't even seen it. Dude, let's see.
And you just got that place or something, didn't you?
Yeah, well, we've had it forever, but I had another guy hunting it.
Oh, okay.
He fooled around and got killed, and then
really?
I took it back over. He had been over there and done the fields last year, and they went up the road to another place. He had a gooseneck, and run a spoiler up on the front of the gooseneck sideways. And when he went up on it, he shot off the other side and flipped over frontwards and broke his neck.
Really?
Killed him.
Yep. You ought to like hunting over there.
Yeah. And
I don't do much duck hunting.
Let's see, Derek says you want to see Tater take one out. A little funny story about Tater and a raccoon there, Derek. Old Tater was bowed up on one that's about twice the size of him here a couple months ago. And Tater was walking around him all bowed up. His hair was bristled up on his back, and they were both growling at each other and carrying on. And I actually had the camera running, and I'm filming this as it's going on. And Tater's right around him, and about that time, this coon just attacks Tater. I'm talking about just jump slap on top of him. And you ain't never seen such a fight in your life, man. I thought, hey, that coon had a hold of Tater. And he was
Brian's.
What now?
They asked me what kind of transmission. We're going to Brian transmission.
And man, they were tearing each other. They were tearing each other up. I finally got. Basically, the camera went blank for a little bit because I was trying to get Tater away from the coon because the coon was actually got a hold of him pretty bad, but didn't really hurt him or anything. Bit him there one time on the inside of his leg. And I ended up having to shoot the coon and stuff. What I had to do.
Coon's a bad dude now.
And yep, yeah, Al, I still do hunt. And he asked about bow hunts. I used to bow hunt every day back in the day. Somebody wants to know about coyotes. Yeah, I actually seen seen a coyote twice a day. And I just didn't want to jack my hunt up. I'll get him in a trap.
I did that the other
Later
day.
on, I let him go.
I should have shot him.
I let him go, and
it's hard this time of year.
Yeah, man, especially right now because the rust's going on. You never know what's fixing to walk out. And man, he swam a creek, a very swift creek that was out. Yeah, dove off in that creek, come across it, hopped up on the field that I was on right there and just stood there, and I could have killed him. He wasn't about 30 yards from him. It was a give me shot, but I just let him go. And let's see, yeah. Jerry Clower, I was about in that kind of situation that day when Tater and that coon were. I couldn't imagine what would have happened if the coon wouldn't have had one paw on the trap. It'd have just been over with, man. Daggum coon, you do not screw with a raccoon. Them things will mess your day up, man. I know a guy, this is a true story. I know a guy back when I used to fish all the time that hooked a coon with a spinnerbait, threw it at it, hooked that raccoon, and brought it back to the boat, and they got it. He wanted his spinnerbait back. They put that coon, got in the fire, had a 5-gallon bucket in that boat, and got that coon in there, and that coon bit him through his hand right there and everything. He was going to get that spinnerbait back. He should have cut his line.
He should have cut his line with Walmart.
Let's see.
Yeah, I'm about ready to start doing the snaring again. We was talking about that a while ago. We called it. I think I saw impact with the catching all them coyotes snaring. You don't see quite as many there in Alabama. I hadn't fooled with it in Mississippi like I did in Alabama, but.
And kind of go back to kind of finish up what I was talking about, the traps, using the traps. The cool thing about the traps is they're there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, as long as they're set and they're ready to work at any given time. Unlike if you go run a dog or something, or you set in a stand or anything, a trap is the most effective way to control any kind of animal.
I love the dogs, but I didn't ever want the hogs on our place that bad. I didn't really worry about everybody else's, but I tried to catch as many as I could. You know, we'd go catch 200 or 300 a year, but when I like to lost the front end of our tractor down there this year, I said we'd finna start trapping.
Yeah.
Because you got a group of 10 or 15 there, and you go catch a couple of them. 2 weeks later, the other ones come back. Now with the trap, you can let them all get in there and drop it and get them in one way. I love the dogs, but it all goes back to time and taking care of everything at one time.
So JK just sent $10 in and said, I got to split that with Jason. No. Oh, man. Lord.
How old was you on your first turkey hunt? Me and my dad started at the exact same time. Ever how old he was, I was 10.
10
years old. I had a Lynch full approach box call, and he had a Lynch world champion. It was on from there.
What's funny about the hunting, man, your dad's an outdoorsman and always has been, as far as I can ever remember. And hunting deer, loved it. But I didn't have that. My dad's not, he's not an outdoorsman. He don't hunt. My dad don't do nothing but work, and that's it. And had it not been, I had 2 uncles. I had one that lived right here in Columbus, and I had another one that lived over in Jasper, Alabama. It's about 100 miles from here. And had it not been for those 2 uncles, I was probably, during Christmas and Thanksgiving, I would see them go hunting when I was probably 11 or 12, and I wanted to go with them too. And they would take me. The one that lived in Jasper, when he came here for Thanksgiving and Christmas, he always made sure he took me. And then my other one lived here. When my other uncle wasn't here from Jasper, he took me. And the thing about it wasn't none of this like the kids now where somebody takes them out and sits with them and helps them.
Yeah,
I was by myself.
That's right.
I was by myself.
That's the way I started.
And I hunted for about 3 years, and I could remember the first deer. I never seen a deer for a couple of years there. I didn't know what I was doing. I remember the first deer I seen, I was shaking so bad that it was like just uncontrollable shakes. And I remember trying to shoot that deer, and I shot a sapling about the size of that Coke bottle Jason's spitting in. And I remember when my uncle got there, walked out there, and he said, well, this is what you shot, and it had banana, it blowed the side in that thing. And so I didn't kill my first deer till I was about, it was before I could drive, and we could drive then in Mississippi at 15. And so I was either late in my 13 or maybe 14 years old when when that happened, when I killed my first deer, and it was actually a doe, and that back then does were a huge no-no. They were sacred, but that's what I shot anyhow. But we had more of them than you could shake a stick at then.
Nowadays, man, it's so different. You remember the clothes you didn't have back then?
Yeah. Well,
you couldn't stay warm.
If you were to actually put a price on a deer, like when we shoot a deer, from the time it all starts till the time it gets in our freezer, you could go to the grocery store and buy enough groceries to go a long, long way. Because if you figure in the gun and all the gear that goes with it, and then the tractor and the planting and the gas and the seed and the land and the property taxes on that land and everything, and all that stuff right there. Steve says, what traps? That's actually what I've got.
They's asking about the Jag Terrier. We're going to be breeding them before long, so y'all just be patient on that. We'll post it when we do that.
Yeah. I mean, he's asking about the scent when you're hunting. I used to be really big on that, big time about how I wash my clothes and all that stuff. I primarily hunt the wind.
I don't use any. My thing with scents, if you was using doe in heat, I felt like if they could smell that doe in heat, they could smell you.
Yeah.
So I tried to just get the wind right. If the wind ain't right, don't go or get somewhere else.
Yeah.
That's my best success.
Because I educated a buck and a doe a couple of weeks ago. I was sitting up in the stand. I had one come downwind of me out the wrong way. They shouldn't even come that way. And they come out at 200 yards. I have this lane marked at every 50 yards with some flagging tape. They come out at 200 yards. When they started getting up close to 150 yards, you could tell they were starting to pick up something, and they put on the brakes and they stopped and they just stayed there. And then they finally turned to the right and walked off the lane and everything, but they done winded me at 150 yards.
That's sharp.
Yeah, Andy Perriman says $100 per pound. That would probably be pretty dang close.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe.
That depends on how many you killed, where you can drop the percentage.
Yeah, that's right. And stuff. Let's see here. You got any more there?
That guy asked me if I'd be willing to breed Pete to a female. Probably, possibly.
Let's see here. Yeah, deer smell very, very good. Let's see. What about, you got Wi-Fi in there at your place at the barn there?
Man, I ain't got nothing.
You ain't got nothing in there?
I need to do that. People's commenting all the time because I'm always complaining about service, and I just ain't got to it yet.
Do y'all have any kind of internet service down there that you can get now where you're at?
It'd just be dish or something, some kind of satellite.
So you don't have like DSL through the phone line or nothing?
No, I ain't even got a phone. Heck, we ain't had TV in years.
I tell you what we need to do. I could come down there. I need to check it on the speed tester and see what it shows. Come down there by the barn one day when it's not real cold, because we'd have to do it outside is what I'd do, and see what it shows up. If we had to, I could cut my hotspot on and
see if it works.
So and then you could link on mine, and we could do a live feed down there too. And let's see.
Now I can do live. I've done a live feed down there just off my cellular.
Yeah, well, we could do that then if you've done that.
Yeah,
I remember watching one.
Remember, I did it when I was hunting one day. That's like I say a while ago. I want to do one when I shoot one live feed.
Yeah.
No, I don't hardly let anybody come hunt anything anymore.
Yes, I've had people ask me about going hunting, and it's a little bit different being around people with guns and things like that, man. I've been
around them for 12 years.
And it's just, I kind of need to know you a little bit before I do something like that. And I'm I'm not sure. Well, I don't think we'll go back to work before till about Thursday. We are the ground is completely shot here now. If we were to get some snow or something right now, you could pretty much about forget it till spring now.
Yeah, the guy, I guess he asked it 2 or 3 times. I haven't been watching. I'm going to do some hog hunting with the dogs still. I'll probably do some in February.
Let's see.
Not as much as I used to, but I will do some. And I plan on, I'm going, and Tim will go with me probably when we do it. I'm going back down south to hunt with my buddies, South Alabama. That's always a hoot. We still stay in contact. Just been so busy, even not doing the deer anymore. Stay so busy over Mississippi, just starting that new project. So it's just a lot going on.
You see, John says I need to put a 5 on my floor in here to go with that 3 and 8 over there. It's over there.
Yeah, that 5 would look good. Big red one.
The thing that got me on the YouTube stuff, and one of the things you get to a certain point and you're making, X number of money, and you've got to pay taxes on that money and everything, get a 1099. I get quite a few of them now. And you have to kind of reinvest that money. And then it's kind of like getting into this vicious circle. And it's like I bought the mini excavator to do tree jobs. And then that turned into, several times a week of doing not only tree jobs, but everything else. I mean, just ton like water lines, demolition stuff, landscaping, things like that. And you just get caught in this vicious circle. And then so you make money, and you're making money on YouTube, and you start making money on that, and then you start having to do this and do that and everything. And one thing leads to another, and you basically turn into working 24 hours a day.
Yeah.
And all, but I didn't do but one job in November, and I told Jill I was just gonna kind of take off for a while. And right after the first year, I'm gonna take a few days off from YouTube too. I ain't gonna take long off. I'm gonna take 2 or 3 days off. And
it's a lot to do this.
Yeah,
especially if you have a day where you have a hiccup.
Yeah.
And you have to get that thing ready. It's
if you put out a daily video, it's nuts. It is. I mean, I've got it streamlined down, and then you run. Jason them's got a website. I've got a website, and I've got a web guy, but I sold so much stuff this time that I was actually having to control my stock on my website because I had so much stuff going out that he literally I could not send him text quick enough. So I jumped on it, and I figured out one night just how to like change stuff from in stock to out of stock and things like that to where I could do it. And
I would love to come back up there to Cherokee if they put that race on again. That was a big deal for me. That was the biggest race we'd ever won.
Somebody wants to know what advice do you have for absentee landowners in regards to keeping people off your property? That's a tough deal right there. The best way to keep people off your property is being there. But if you're an absentee type person, you can't be there. And one of the best things that I would say is just try to be really good neighbors with your adjoining landowners so that maybe they can watch your property. And
it's a hard deal.
It's a hard deal. And like Jason said, turkey hunting is the worst. I mean, it's because so Jeffrey wants to know, do you ever run Why Not? Speedway. Why Not's down there at Meridian, down there about 2 hours, not even 2 hours south of us down there.
I love that place down there.
That track's been going forever, man, down there. I made a bunch of trips down there and come back about 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning.
We raced there several times this year.
Yeah. Let's see. They've done well down there.
It's a good racetrack.
Yeah.
Really good racetrack. Somebody commented a while ago asking about the bull ring. I don't know if it's going to be open next year or not.
Yeah, it's kind of in a lull
It's
right
kind
now.
of up and down. If they can ever get somebody in there that'll run it, it might. I don't know.
Yeah. It needs a pretty good bit of capital spent on it right now. That's the problem. If somebody got in it, they would probably need to spend about $100,000, and that would be on the low end
To get it
of
right.
things
Yeah.
to kind of get it right and stuff like that. Let's see. Well, Seth says I planted just wheat on the food plots, and Jason does more clover. Which one is better? They're both good. Clover's really good because of the nitrogen that it puts back in the soil. But to plant the clover is a little bit different animal than just planting wheat. The biggest thing for me this year was time. We were dry. And we were dry as heck, man. We went from dry as heck to freaking wet as heck.
Yep.
Basically in a weekend. There were people who got caught with their pants down and didn't get stuff planted at all this year. And if you didn't bow up and get it done, and I mean, it hurt us.
I got lucky. I just decided I had to get done. And got lucky and right in some of it in Mississippi just had people drill up out of the ground. It started raining.
Yeah, and so I was going to mention that you drill yours, and that's a lot different animal, a lot better animal, but it's it's a little bit different. It's a lot more expensive machine to buy.
It works out to about I don't know. It saves a lot of trip over the ground, disking and all. Plowing. I say plowing. Everybody says I'm disking. I don't care. But I tell you, I experimented with, I spray everything. 2 fields I couldn't get across our bridge down there with a drill. We usually disc it and whirly bird it covered up. But I was pushing for time. I just spread everything on top of the ground like you would a dove field. And them's 2 of my best looking fields right now. All I did was round up them. Nothing ever turned to soil.
And just drilled them?
No, I didn't drill. I couldn't get the drill across the bridge.
Okay, and you just round up them.
I just went over there with a whirly bird. They look as good as any.
You just broadcast over the dirt
then, and they look as good as anything down there now.
I'm going to do something different as far as planting this next year. I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to go with. What I'm going to do is I'm going to buy something to do some mechanized planting. The problem that we have with our property is my dad, he's in the business to grow trees, not to grow deer. And so it's a little bit different with us. We don't have the amount of fields in the open ground, but that's going to change. I'm just last few years, I've kind of just done what I wanted to do. I took the bush hog down the right of way, and stuff like that, and whatever happens.
Well, it takes you like to hunt, and you got enough ground that you can do it. I mean, you take the big scheme of things and make you a 3 or 4 acre field. It ain't hurt nothing.
That's right. Well, the trees, you can't. It's hard to have a piece of property and not do anything with it for 25 years. Well,
see, that's the thing that people that's going to watch what we're starting to do in Mississippi. They're fixing to see a combination of it's mostly always been done strictly timber management. And if you strictly do timber management, it's not good for the deer.
That's right. Yeah, you're exactly right.
I mean, there's no daylight ever gets to the ground. So that's the biggest thing we're changing. We're going to put food on the ground and cover. And if you can't get daylight at the ground by thinning, some of the trees we ended up thinning down to 40 basal this year. That's daylight, brother. You wait till this spring, and it's going to be good for the deer, food, nesting for the turkeys. It's going to get unreal down there. People keep watching a few years. It's fixing to get right.
I'm going to show people how to kill a tree without cutting it down, too. It's very, very simple to do it to where you can... The name of the game, what Jason just said, is sunlight, getting sunlight to the ground. And you can go in there in a stand of trees that you got and these little small saplings that you see. I'm going to show how to kill them things where they won't leaf out or anything. And I'm actually going to do I've got some stuff that'll kill it just by injecting the tree with a hatchet. I mean, not even having to inject it, but you can just just hit it, peel the bark back, squirt it with just a squirt bottle that you buy at Dollar General. But the chemical that I use is not readily available for everybody to get. But I'm gonna run some tests. I think Roundup, the active ingredient in Roundup, will do the same thing. You're just gonna have to mix it a little bit stronger, I believe. And I'm gonna show people how to do that to where they can kill. If you want to work an area and you want to take out some saplings and stuff like that too, where your other trees will, because those saplings, they're taking nutrients out of the ground for the larger mature trees that are going to be acre trees, where they'll get all they can get and it'll open up for a little bit of sunlight. And you can do a lot with a little bit of property.
You can.
And the thing about it is, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you're a large landowner that owns 10,000 acres. The deer, unless you got that entire thing high fenced, the deer are gonna move. That deer don't belong to you, it don't belong to Jason, don't belong to me. That something's gonna move. Especially once a rut comes in. When your rut comes in, you can throw everything out the window. So I mean, you can draw deer from over here from your adjoining landowner, or he can draw deer from you. And so I mean,
biggest thing you want that deer on your place in the daylight.
That's right.
I don't care where he goes at night.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where I've been experimenting the last few years down there. Where I hunt in Alabama, I don't never tell acreage, but it's a small piece of property that I'm hunting. And I've killed a 5-year-old buck there the last 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
And it's you don't have to have a big piece of property to do it. You just got to tend to it and make them want to be there.
Yep. Food. It all boils down to food. Food and cover. That place over at West Point, I think that's what's hurting it, because it's all a solid pine, and the pines are now 29 years old, and there's nothing on the ground but pine straw, and a deer can't eat pine straw.
They need to be clear cut, don't they?
Yeah, it's in the works to clear cut it, and then I'm gonna take the excavator over there, and I'm fixing to fix that splat gum place, man. I'm fixing to fix it. Is what I'm gonna do.
That's in the right part of the country.
It's in the right part of the country to kill a monster, and it's not that big a piece of property either. And because most people that hunt around here, if you're sitting on a field, I bet most of our fields around here aren't even close to a half an acre at the most, or say where you can see is a half acre with where you could shoot, not very much. Arsenal is the Arsenal is the control stuff that will kill them with just, it only takes about a 20% mixture in that of water and just a little spray bottle, and you can take a hatchet and hit it and peel it back and just squirt one squirt in there, and it'll kill that tree graveyard dead. But I'm going to try it. I believe Roundup will do the same thing. It may take a little bit more.
I killed a bunch of pine trees along the fence last year spraying Roundup.
And you were overspraying them, right?
Smoked them.
Yeah.
Yes, they're done. They're falling over. Smoked them.
Roundup is bad.
It's bad.
If you do it right.
That's like I've talked to our guy that does some of our spraying. One place it was a 10-acre clear cut. It's been several years ago, and it still ain't nothing coming up.
Yeah,
they used too much Roundup.
Well, Derek
wiped it out.
Derek sprayed our stuff, and he sprayed it late, and it hurt our fields. It hurt our fields.
Oh yeah, you can't spray it too close.
It will not come up, and it hurt our fields, because I planted in West Point, and I sprayed it, but I sprayed it back in like late June or something like that.
July, 1st of
August, a good time, but man, you wait and get up there toward October, and you spray it, boy, you just shot yourself in the foot. Be lucky to grow
grass next year.
Yeah. Cause we had some of ours air sprayed one time, and they had a little bit left over in the helicopter, so they dumped it on one of our green fields when they were going to fly to another place. It killed that green field for about 5 years.
I don't doubt.
I mean, it just completely killed it. I mean, you can spill 100 gallons of dead-gum hydraulic fluid, and the grass will come back. You got another hog there.
Yeah.
The grass will come back, but man, stuff.
Guy says he uses a strong dose of Roundup, and it works.
I bet it will.
I like the Mazapir in the pine thickets because it lets the briars grow.
Mm-hmm. Yep. We're gonna test. I'm gonna see. We're gonna test it and see what it
And
do.
the 20 gauge on the turkey, guy was asking me about a shot for 20 gauge. That's all I shoot anymore. I haven't picked up 12 gauge.
Yeah, you're shooting at
the TSS.
Yeah.
And I've got some made for 410.
Are you getting them from Apex? Is that what?
Now I got a boy over in Alabama that builds them.
Well, you know, Apex,
But-
they do them
Yeah, same thing
right
pretty
here.
much. But,
Yeah.
they're
Because that
bad.
tungsten is
I accidentally shot one last year, year before. I thought he was closer than he was. I stepped it off. He was 75 yards.
mhm.
That's with a 20 gauge. With a factory full choke, nothing souped up. It's bad. It's unreal.
Mm-mm.
Unreal.
I would hate to shoot one of those things out of a 12 gauge.
I've got them.
Me,
You do a
yeah.
flip. I mean, no joke. It ought to be illegal because 100 yards, you kill a turkey with that and with a 12 gauge, 3.5.
Well, I had a couple times over at West Point that I killed them at 70 yards like that with I shot number 6s is what I shot.
Mm-hmm.
The copper plated ones,
Right.
lead ones, the 3.5 12s. And
It's
and
over.
that tungsten would get on out there.
It's bad.
I mean, I got to the point where I just fed up on a couple of turkeys and they hung up out there on the field and man, you know, I just took a chance at it. Both times I did that, I actually killed more than one turkey too when I did it because there was a group of them.
Spread out.
Yeah, it spread out
Yeah.
and everything. Let's see. We see a little bit of all of the critters here. We have them. Also, I don't know if we see any bobcats. I got a stud bobcat.
I saw
on
one the
camera.
other day and I couldn't get a shot off at it.
Yeah.
Them things are slick. You ain't never hardly looking for them.
Yeah, them things move around. They hard to see.
Yes, I use a mouth call a lot. Use everything. My favorite's probably a box call, but I do use a mouth call a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, I use about everything. I use a slate, a box, a mouth call, just whatever that I can get the turkey to respond to. And
Guy's asking, or a lady, whatever it was, asking about my cur dogs. My black mouse go back to Weatherford's Bend. I've actually got he's a grandson off of Weatherford's Bend. I forget his daddy's name, it's been so long, but Rebel, that's the one that started all my stuff, and got lucky and got a female that just made a super cross and picked up a female here and there, but for the last 10 years or so I've been breeding them, and they're good for anything. My dogs are using hogs, cattle, tracking deer, just make a heck of a pet, but I'd hate to see one go for a pet, but the only thing mine don't do is tree. The Ladner dogs will tree, but my dogs are not made for treeing, but they are pretty sharp dogs. Once they learn, all they want to do is know what you want to do, and they'll do it.
let's see here. Somebody said they ain't never shot a turkey. If a turkey could smell, you would never kill a turkey.
Nah,
You would
you
never.
shoot them with a rifle.
Yeah, you'd have to shoot them 200 or 300 yards away from a truck.
They are bad animals.
Yeah, they are something else, man. Their eyes are crazy, and
Yes, I'm gonna be driving the late model.
let's see. Are you about ready to wrap it up, man? We've been on here over an hour and a half now.
We've been there that long?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
past
see.
my bedtime.
93 minutes right there.
Yeah, that guy, I
Yeah.
think it said, have asked if I ever shot where's it at? What, if I ever shot a 10 gauge? Yes. Don't want no more of that.
Yeah, I shot a 10 gauge one time.
I
too.
got a Browning pump. That's a
Dude.
bad joker. Somebody needs to be holding the barrel and you hold the back. It's
Yeah.
heavy.
Yeah, somebody said don't ever turkey hunt. It's a bad addiction. It is, man.
This is bad as
Yeah, John Boy
Crack.
says it's a school night. Yeah, it's a school night.
it is. I gotta go to school in the morning.
I don't even have a video. I ain't even thought about a video for tomorrow. I filmed some today while I was hunting and stuff. Let's see. This guy asked. He said we cut for Weyerhaeuser. That's correct. We just got switched to Green Diamond. Each of the timber companies have different practices on when, how much, and they thin and clear cut. Yeah, they do. Yeah, each one of them, they do everything a little bit a little bit different. And then even Weyerhaeuser, man, they're constantly changing what they do, and all. So just let's see.
I think everybody's trying to go to bed on us.
Yeah, I think they are too, or whatever. Let's see here. Oh yeah, as Cliff says, just bought a 5075 E. Thanks for helping pick out a Chris. That's one thing. There ain't no telling how many wives and other people that I've helped get a Christmas gift for their significant
really?
other. Yeah, via email or something.
Right.
Asking me about something their
Right.
husband or something has seen something that I use.
Right.
Whether it's on a tractor or hunting or something like that. And,
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
yeah. So
They blame it on you then.
yeah, that's right. So I've helped a lot of people, man, and get stuff and all that. So I don't know. I'll figure out tomorrow's video might be a little late. Let's see, and let's see. Greg wants to know when's our deer season go out. Our deer season. Here in Mississippi where we're located, we go all the way to the last day of January. And then in Alabama right here where we're at, it goes to the middle of February.
15th or something
Yeah,
like that. I don't know if they extended it. It's crazy.
Yeah, they did.
Too many.
We'll see there, David Ketterman, he's over there in North Carolina. We'll see there, buddy. Let's see.
Yeah, that guy asked me if I have a video Christmas Day. I plan on putting one every day unless
Yeah.
something happens.
Yep, the 15th of February is when it is.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, 15, yeah, somebody piped up right there. And stuff, yep. All right, Mr. Jim. I'm fixing to wind up over here on my end. I appreciate all y'all tuning in. Me and Jason got together. Do you know how to end it there, Jason?
Yeah, out of here. I'm putting
Yeah,
push
you
that
hit that.
X.
Yeah, you hit that X.
I'm
up
going
there.
to bed.
Yeah,
Appreciate
we'll
y'all
catch y'all
watching.
later. Later,
Outta here.
Teddy. See y'all.